Mayong hapon. Mr. Secretary, we already have a quorum.
Yes, sir.
Online. There are 3 councilor who are online. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Mr. Secretary, majority floor. Okay. Mayong hapon sa tanan. The 96 regular session sa Gunang Paglusod Dakbayan sa Cagayan de Oro is now called on to order. Please do stand. An invocation by Councilor Lord Dansuan. Mayong hapon kanimo.
Let us be reminded that we are in the holy presence of God. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Our Father in heaven, we humbly pray that you bless this city council and all its employees and staff, so that we may perform our sacred duty to serve the people of Cagayan de Oro with utmost integrity, diligence, and skill. Keep us steadfast in our obligation to vote and decide for what we believe is right, no matter the consequences and regardless of affiliations. And may the virtues of temperance, courage, and humility be always present in our hearts, so that we may properly serve and be shining examples to all our constituents. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Councilor Lord Dansuan. And for the singing of our national anthem. And for the Cagayan de Oro March. Maayong hapon sa tanan. Mr. Secretary, can you do the roll call and determine if we do have a quorum?
Honorable Renier Joaquin VOE, City Vice Mayor and Presiding Officer. For the First District Councilors, Honorable Edna M. Dahino, Honorable J.R. Pascual, Honorable Roger G. Abaday, Honorable Saldi O. Ocon, Honorable George is Goking, Honorable
Isayad.
Honorable Lord, Honorable Romeo V. Calizo. For the Second District Councilors, Honorable Joylene Mercedes El Balaba, Honorable Maria Lourdes Isgaani, Honorable Ayan Mark Yunakaya, Honorable Josette G. Magtahas Daba, Honorable Chodolfo E. Lau Jr.,
Present.
Honorable Enrico Di Salcedo, Honorable Jocelyn B. Rodriguez,
Present.
Honorable Edgar S. Cabanlas. For the ex-officio members, Honorable Yan Lam Islim, Liga ng mga Barangay President, and Honorable John Michael El Seno, CTSK Federation President. There is quorum, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. So do we have a quorum? So we may now proceed. At this moment of time, Majority Floor Leader, Ayan Mark Kiblat Nakaya. Maayong hapon kanimo Majority Floor. And
Thank
you have the
you
floor.
very much, Mr. Chairman. Ug mayong hapon usab, Vice Mayor Renier Joaquin Bilis Kikang Uy, ug sa itong mga kauban sa Konseho and friends from the media, fellow Cagayanons, good afternoon. I move, Mr. Chairman, to dispense with the reading of the minutes of meeting on July 5, 2021, and to consider the furnishing of its copy to the members the reading itself.
Properly moved by the Majority Floor Leader.
Second.
Seconded. Correction. Is there any? Is there any? Is there any? None? Hearing none. But before we approve, okay, hearing none, it is hereby approved.
I likewise move for the approval of the said minutes of meeting.
Which penalty?
Second.
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 But Majority Floor, before we proceed, I'd like to greet our fellow councilmen, the 19th City Council, a happy birthday to Councilor George Yo Goking.
Yeah.
Well, he's not around. Okay.
Birthday
So,
leave.
birthday leave. Ah. Ano ay birthday leave
Today is his birthday.
Okay, this day. So, timing yun, in behalf of the 19th City Council, happy birthday, Councilor George Yo Goking. Councilor Ruben Daba, can you hit him
Happy birthday to you.
Councilor
Happy
Ruben
birthday.
Daba, and so as Councilor Enrico Salcedo and Councilor Lourdes Gani, can sing a birthday song to our fellow. Happy birthday
Day to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Even that he is not around. Okay. From the 19th City Council, happy birthday, Councilor George Goking.
Happy birthday.
Nagpanda ito nagdibo. So, anyway.
Uy. Kinsa man na?
Okay.
Dili na sa ako.
We now proceed. Majority Floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So again, happy birthday to our PCL chairperson at the local and regional, Councilor George Goking. And for our special report, Mr. Chairman, we have 3 members who would like to render a special report. Councilors Balaba, Nakaya, and Buboy Daba. For Councilor Girly Balaba, she would like to render a report as to her plan to access the livelihood programs for the PWDs from Dole. And this representation would like to render a report as regards the previous report that I have made in last year, Mr. Chairman, on hotlines of agencies of the government. And Councilor Doc Buboy Daba would like to report his concern as to how the government would be providing assistance to senior citizens. So
Okay.
Balaba, Nakaya, and Bubuy Daba.
Okay, thank you, Majority Floor. So as our special reporter, Committee on Social Services, other than Councilor Joylene Mercedes Balaba, about the PWDs.
Yes, good afternoon,
Mayo
Mr.
hapon
Chair,
kanimo.
and to my colleagues. The whole of government approach is one strategy implemented by the national government to ease the impact of the pandemic. This approach ensures fast and efficient delivery of government services and provide assistance to the vulnerable sectors, particularly those in the workforce. As we are all aware, we do not know how long this pandemic will last. It has stretched longer than we hoped and prayed for and expected. Last week, one of our colleagues requested for the listing of our PWDs most affected and has been displaced due to the implementation of the community quarantine to the DSWD for relief assistance. This has been addressed, Mr. Chair. So today, I wish to move forward as I also chair the Committee on Labor and Employment. I seek your approval that I may be allowed to invite representatives from the Department of Labor and Employment for a committee meeting with the CSWD's PDAO or Persons with Disability Affairs Office and the Blind and Deaf Association to discuss ways and hopefully facilitate more livelihood assistance for them. I wish to address this august body that our city's efforts has been to prioritize the welfare of our PWDs, most especially in these trying times. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Joylene Mercedes Balaba, for this could be for the outcome, for the benefit of the PWDs, especially to the office of the PWDs under the umbrella of the CSWD and so as the DSWD. So anyone wants to react? Anyone wants to react? A reaction? There is none. So as wished by our committee chairman on the social services, Joylene Mercedes Balaba. So you may conduct at the proper time for any labor as you wish in your committee. So
Committee on
may-
Labor.
Committee on Labor. So since it was requested as a grant or any what you call this ayuda for the PWD, so you may now include it. Chaired by the social services also. So Councilor Joylene Mercedes Balaba, thank you for your special report this afternoon.
May I proceed, Mr. Chairman?
You may proceed. Our second reporter.
Thank you.
Majority. Okay, majority floor leader. You're scheduled for a second reporter.
Thank
may
you,
proceed.
Mr. Chairman. Just a few days ago, Mr. Chairman, on my timeline at my Facebook account, it just popped up the special report that I have conducted before this August body. Last year, as regards our intention to have our government agencies from regional down to the city and to the barangays to have their own hotline numbers. And I recall that it was our intention really to eliminate certain red tape and certain facilitation of the rules prescribing the non-pharmaceutical regulations, Mr. Chairman, such as physical distancing. And in fact, part of our intentions, of course, was to allow video or online meetings or sessions. And of course, the City Council have acted that positively. And we now have either personal physical presence during sessions or virtual. And it stands valid, such endeavor is allowed under the rules, Mr. Chairman. We were successful and we continuously proceed with this type of endeavor, Mr. Chairman. It's done during regular sessions and also committee meetings. That is at the level of the members of the City Council. My report this afternoon, Mr. Chairman, would dwell into strengthening the intention to have our people to have access before the offices of the governments. In the city, we have already hotline numbers. While this intention has spurred me to revive this special report, Mr. Chairman, I have communicated with the DILG local operation officer, Director Jane Ducalios yesterday, and asked whether or not we have a data banking on the hotline numbers of each and every barangay governments of Cagayan de Oro. She mentioned yesterday that she has that at her office. However, it's the personal contact numbers of the punong barangays and the BHERTs. And of course, we know that the personal contact numbers of the punong barangays it's either personal, private, or public. And it can be, of course, articulated personally, whether exclusive, private, or public number for purposes of his or her service to his community, Mr. Chairman. And for BHERT's number, we all have the 80, according to Director Jane, for the 80 barangays. However, it's exclusive to the programs as regards reporting of incidents or relative to COVID-19, Mr. Chairman. So there's no yet a hotline number as regards to petitions of the residents on matters, cutting of trees, garbage collection, complaints of neighbors, peace and order, security, and the like, Mr. Chairman. So I am making anew this report, and hopefully we can consider at the proper time after our agenda to address this matter not only to all barangay governments, Mr. Chairman, but also to include regional agencies and provincial and city offices to provide the public with the respective hotline numbers so that if there are responses that can be prompted and answered immediately by these government offices and agencies, Mr. Chairman, by way of text, by way of messenger message, it can be done immediately and instantly for the furtherance of public service. So maybe at the proper time, we call upon these government agencies and the barangay government, Mr. Chairman, to have their hotline numbers available for the public use and access. So that would be at the proper time, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Majority Floor Leader Ayan Mark Kiblat Nakaya for the special report. So, anyone wants to add something about the reporter this afternoon? None. So maybe we can refer it to the barangay affairs and so as to
Maybe a resolution, Mr.
a
Chairman,
resolution for the
will
barangay.
pass.
Oh,
Also,
I think it is-
to include regional agencies and provincial and district offices, Mr. Chairman.
mm. So maybe I think I heard it clearly from our Association of Barangay Council or ABC President, chaired by Councilor Alam Lim. Thank you, Majority Floor, for a special report. I think it is loudly clear from our reporter this afternoon, Councilor Ayan Mark Kiblat Nakaya. Councilor Alam Lim. So,
Councilor
Okay.
Buboy Daba will be
at the
the
proper
next.
time, Majority Floor. It was addressed by our ABC President, Councilor Alam Lim, for the respective barangay. So our third reporter, is there any? Okay, Councilor Boboy Dava. Councilor Boboy
Ah,
Dava.
thank
Mayong hapon
thank
kanim.
you.
You have the
May
floor.
hapon, Vice, may hapon, Mr. Chair, ug may hapon sa
Mayong
atong
hapon.
mga kauban, diya sa konseho ug atong mga bisita diya sa likod, may hapon. Agtong Thursday, Friday, or every Thursday to Saturday, Mr. Chair, nag-volunteer na kita sa pagpatabang nato sa pag-vaccination. Isip isa ka nurse, so nagtabang sad ako dito, nag-volunteer ako pag-agto. Akong nakita, Mr. Chair, na kinagastorya na ako si Ma'am Charlotte, no, o ang uban nga mga doctors dito, nga ang atong mga senior citizen medyo dili nagmakuli sa pagpa-injection. So nigawas ako, nangutana ako sa atong mga senior citizen dito, ang ilang mga rason is number one, yun, Mr. Chair, is wala daw sila itawi baon sa pagpaniugto or kanang inana kay alabi na ang katungtoa sa bukid, Mr. Chair. So ang ikaduha sa dayon nga ang akong pangutana, imbis daw ilang ipliti o ipalit sa baon, ilan na lang kunong ipalit sa tambal. So mo kana ang dako gyud kaayo nga kasubo, no, kay ang ato rabang deadline din niana sa kanang ilang mga kay ang kada isa like ang senior citizen anaagid kana sila slot, no. So mo kanang kulba kay kun mahurot na or ibalik dito sa Manila kay ang Manila karon ug ang Visayas grabe kayo ang ilang kuansad kulang kayo ang vaccine sa tibok Pilipinas. So mo kana luoy kaayo ang atong mga senior citizen. So nakahuna-una ako, Mr. Chair, unsa ka kung maghimo kita og kanang incentive ba, maghimo kita resolution nga atong tagaan atong mga senior citizen og mga incentive. Siguro mga 2,000 or depende sa pilay maabot sa atong panudlanan, no? And then isubmit na nila nga kinahanglan duha ka vaccination on before July 31 or not later than August 15. Kaya ang August 15 murag diha na gid siguro matapos ang ilang allotment or ang ilang para gigahin sa mga senior citizen. So Mr. Chair, kung imong itugot sa akong mga kauban kung magkaiusa kami ni ani, amo kining gihangyo nga i-refer nato kay Councilor duha ka councilor nato sa CSWD, akong partner si Councilor Girly Balaba ug sa ato dayong sa finance or mapangitaan nato og CA or unsay ma-available nga cash kay Councilor Dahino. So grabe kayo, Mr. Chair, kay anugon kay tanan kay sila ra ba ang nagpugas unya maayo unta nga pag-ani dayon naasad sila kay kulba kayo kay ang atong mga senior citizen daghan kay mga comorbidities o comortalities. Unya kun mo gawas na dayon nga ang atong mga kaigsunan karon nga naghulat sad nga walay mga comorbidities o comortalities, sila na ay ilang turno. So ang turno sa senior citizen mabalik ka na dito sa Manila or dito sa Visayas. So anugon kay Mr. Chair. Mura ka na, Mr. Chair, ug maayong hapon sa tanan.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Ruben Dava. I just want to clear it out. Pila to? 2,000 for an incentive to them?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Kay ang kuan, Mr. Chair, if I may, ang Surigao City, Mr. Chair, gahatag ang Surigao City og 5,000 gikan sa ilang CSWD and then sa mga fully vaccinated. So nakita nato sa datos nila nga 100% yun ang nagtunga, Mr. Chair, kay ang uban sa nato mga senior citizen, grasya kaloy sa Ginoo, mga arang-arang man lugar sila.
It is confirmed, Councilor Ruben Dava.
Yes, confirm na ang Surigao
We have
City.
to
Oh.
study. Kuyawan sila
In
gani,
fact,
Councilor.
Yes, in fact, Mr. Chair, nangutana magid ko ana sa atong City Health Office, no? Ang City Health Office ang mga kauban nato dina, no? Sila gyud ang nagkuan sad kay nangutana man ko, Mr. Chair, kay bisan gani atong mayor, Mr. Chair, si Mayor Oka Moreno nagkuan na gani sa radyo nga encourage gyud sa atong mga senior citizen kay mo lagi to ang sa akong
Okay.
pangutana sa akong mga na kuan dito nga senior citizen, ang ilang mga kauban mo lagi na ang mga problema in town, Mr. Chair, or bisag 500 depende na lang kana kang Councilor Dahino o kang Councilor Girly Balaba, Mr. Chair.
Okay, well, we have to confirm it first, and so as the availability of funds and be affected. Well, your proposal is very good. But we have to be realistic enough, no? In times like this, in the pandemic, dili man bisan kinsa tayo sa tuwa, dili man against ana, pero mo lagi dili lisod kayo, mga natag mga tagadamgo nga mata.
Oh, yeah. Wala
Yeah,
ka.
we have to further to study it, no?
Yes, Mr.
Well, this
Chair.
could be the benefit for the senior citizen nganong dili good. Oh.
Yes.
Well,
Ang
our
akong
committee
prayer,
chairman on senior citizen want to say something. Okay, Councilor Roger Cabaday, about the special report of Councilor.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Okay.
Presiding Officer, Vice Mayor Ikangui. Thank you also very much to the good reporter, Councilor Boboy Daba, and my colleagues here in the 19th City Council, and those who are listening to us. Good afternoon and happy birthday, George Goking. I-deliver na, wala pa. Okay, joke only. Actually, gwapo kayo nga proposal, Mr. Chairman, no, and my colleagues. No? I hope that Councilor Boboy Dawa will talk personally to the Chief Executive about his good intention. Don't you know, Mr. Councilor Boboy, that we have almost 100,000 senior citizens now in Cagayan de Oro City. And I think the latest pronouncement of the University Mayor in his press con, wala pa tao katunga. No? But the DOH CHD in M advisory, what's the meaning ng CHD in M, Councilor? Na sila ilang na sila strategy, strategy. Ang primero na ni kining mabakunahan ko A1 AA1 A4 A1 no, private sectors who work outside their homes. A4 number 2 no, employees in government agencies and instrumentalities including government-owned and controlled corporations and local government units. A4 number 3 oh, informal sector workers and self-employed who work outside their homes and those working in private households. Okay, that's number 1. Ikaduha nga strategy nga gihimo karon sa atong DOH parte sa vaccination. Kay magpabakuna ko A2 senior citizen para na magpabakuna ang duha. Inviting all A4 kating mga batano no, A4 not yet vaccinated to bring unvaccinated A2 for senior citizen, family member, friends or neighbor as your bakuna body system. On July 12 to 13, 2021, Monday, Tuesday, 8 o'clock in the morning at Centrio Ayala Mall, third floor, cinema area. So for A4, kindly bring your official company's ID to attest current employment. A4 will be vaccinated together with your unvaccinated senior citizen bakuna body. For A2, please bring your senior citizen ID or any valid ID with birth date. Kato sa mga partner to yung body, bisan og A4 siya, pwede siya bakunahan. Muna karon ang strategy gihimo sa atong DOH. In addition with that, no, Congressman Clarix Uy, as a District 1, and even District 2 appeal, is offering his resources, so, yung kagalingon, mga sakyanan, especially free transportation to and fro. Kita na ko diya sa mga vaccination, nakadya ang mga senior, kurag libre pa mga snacks yoro, kung nakita na ko dito sa kono, Centrio, Linkit kay. So, sana sa strategy nga sa program karon ni Congressman Clarix Oy habang mangani mga pakapin wako kabalo. So okay to kang Councilor Daba no, but I think we have to evaluate very carefully because of the number of senior citizens that we have in Cagayan de Oro City. So if this strategy of the DOH will be applied effectively, then we can do away with financial expenses, Mr. Chairman and my colleagues. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair.
Councilor Roger Abaday. Okay,
Mr.
Councilor
Chair.
Ababa.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Salamat kay kang Councilor Abaday, no? In fact, na-mention ganin niya 100% and then 50% na ang nagpa-bakuna. Mula ka na precisely ang akong gusto, Mr. Chair. Kay ang kanang 50% muna ang ilang mga problema. Why could salamat sa Ginoo na na-assess Councilor si Congressman Clarix Uy ug ang atong congressman sa Picas, no, kanang at least makatabang man gyapon na sila. So why don't we give a chance for Councilor Gurley and Councilor Inday Dahino kay basin day 500 200 Mr. Chair, maayo na gyud kay na nga kuan sa ilang makainganyo sa ilang makaana sila sa ato. That 50% or kaysa the last time when I was the chairman of CSWD, ang atong profiling sa mga senior citizen is 70,000. So karon sa under kay Councilor Gurley Balaba, 100,000 na. So kanang 50%, makuha nimo bisag 200 pesos or anything nga makahatag ng ganyo kay ang nakapait magud og pulba ana, Mr. Chair, kung mabalik na ang ilang slot nga wala nila kuha, mahatag dito kanus pamandayon na sila matagaan, Mr. Chair. So mura na akong prayer i-refer nato kay Councilor Gurley o kay Councilor Edna Dahino kay I'm sure these two ladies are do everything ilang mapangitaan, Mr. Chair. Daghan salamat ug maayong hapon.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Ruben Daba. Well, your proposal is great, but you have to consider it also the other sector. So when it comes to COVID-19, as hit by the COVID-19, hardly hit by the COVID-19, all sector is bali naigo ani. So consider ko to. Isn't it unfair or just to just one sector that we are addressing to? So what about the PWDs? What about the other sector? So that moment when we given a time addressing that proposal, so other sector will get mad or angry or for this unfair practice of the city government. So we have to consider it. Thank you for your great proposal. Okay, Councilor Jocelyn.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Councilor
Thank you very
Jocelyn
much.
Rodriguez,
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much.
you have the floor.
Actually, that is very good, no? But we do not know where to get the money, no? I would like to donate my salary, Mr. Chair, in coordination with Councilor Daba. Whoever who goes there, pwede na ako i-donate akong salary. We can give 200 per senior or 100 per senior. I would gladly donate my salary. For the sake, not for politics, no, because I hate politics, for the sake of giving the senior citizens a chance to be vaccinated. I am very willing in coordination with Councilor Daba. Even dili na ko magpakita, bisan Councilor Daba na lang ang maghatag. I can donate my salary, Mr. Chair. Wala ra, ako ra. And nothing more. Wala appearance, wala tanan, but I will donate my salary. Kay 100 ka mga senior mo ana diha, pwede ra na. Kay balo ko unsa ka luoy gyud sa atong senior citizen, no? So I'd rather help in my own way without being there. I will just coordinate with Councilor Daba. Akong salary, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Jocelyn Rodriguez.
Mr.
You can
Chairman.
propose it to the committee level when they discuss it at the proper time, Councilor Jocelyn Rodriguez. Thank you for your
Thank you, Mr.
kindness.
Chair.
Okay, Councilor
Chairman.
Rodolfo Bunglao, want to add something?
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to
Ayong
my
hapon.
esteemed colleagues and to the people of Cagayan de Oro. Actually, through the representation of the chairman of the Committee on Health, she might suggest to our City Health Office or the DOH nga i-cluster ang barangay nga bisitahan na lang dayon sa atong mga doctors and nurses nga mo mag-facilitate sa vaccination jobs. Aron di na sila kinanglan nga mag-travel pa paingon dinhi sa city proper. Kung dili ang moadto na dito ang atong mga health workers ang atong mo facilitate sa vaccination jobs aron nga dili hassle on the part. What is the salary of Councilor Bebot Rodriguez kung tanan mga senior citizens ang magayo? Limitado sab na ang iyang salary. So limitado sab ang atong matagaan. How about the others? no, other sectors. Mo claim man sab nga kami day mga PWD. We are also bound to
That-
have that kuan.
Yes.
How about those displaced workers? They're also bound to ask for assistance because they were also affected by this COVID-19. So mao na lang ng atong buhaton, atong hangyoon through clustering of barangays, sila mo bisita dito, and then let the barangays have the list of those senior citizens who are not yet vaccinated para ang pag-abot nila dito, diretso na rin sila matagaan og serbisyo, matagaan og vaccination. So more than ang atong pinaka-immediate o pinakasayon nga kuan kay sa mangita pata og kuan padabing madugay pa, no? So ang ato karon nga mas mapadali nato nga matubag ang ilang panginahanglan, labi na ang vaccination. Thank you, Mr.
Councilor.
President.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Chodolfo Bunglao. May hapon kanimo. Okay, Councilor Edna Dahino. Want to add something, Councilor Edna Dahino?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman.
Mayong
Good
hapon.
afternoon to my fellow councilors and our visitors at the back. Mr. Chairman, maayo man kaayo ang suggestion ni Councilor Doc Buboy Daba. But since, as you said, na fairness ba, naabay fairness. So I think, Mr. Chairman, we would like to promote the voluntarism, Mr. Chairman, na for those who would like to help, like for example, sa transportation, those who have transportation, we can help to pagdala sa mga senior citizen from dito sa layo-layo pengon sa ubos, because kanang lisod naman sa tong gisulti ni Councilor Bunglao nga itipok pa kay the potency as what the chairperson of the Committee on Health nga maapektuhan ang vaccine nga gikinahanglan man ang tugnaw kaayo nga kanang temperature ana. So kung imo lang ibiyahe basig mawad anay noon siya og efficacy kung pananglitan inana ang dagat o potency ban tawag ana. Anyway, so Mr. Chairman, so again I would like to emphasize that those who are very much willing to help transporting our mga senior citizen, may help paingon dito sa whatever help. Dili na lang nato iko ano unsa nga kon basta kay makaabot dito nga makabalik pod sila nga dili lang gud sila kay mabugatan sa as what Councilor Doc Boy nga basin mauli dito. So I think that would be better if we can really help each other to transport all kung mahimo nga katong nagka-problema nga makaanhi sa syudad, Mr. Chairman. And I believe that will be very effective. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you,
Mr. Chairman.
Dahino. Well,
Mr. Chair.
what we are trying to discuss here is the proposal of Councilor, the special report, no? The substance of the special report will be a 2,000
Mr. Chair.
incentive for the senior citizens. So we have to study it further to the committee chairman on the senior citizen, and so as together with the finance committee chairman to study this more further. Oh. Okay, lastly, Councilor Edna Dahino.
Again, Mr. Chairman, 2,000 or 500 is big enough. 500 kung
That is why.
50,000 senior citizen, that will cost 25 million, Mr. Chairman. So that is why volunteerism na lang atong gikinahanglan para
That is why.
kanabang realistic,
Oh.
Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Senior citizen is 100,000 plus.
Last,
So that is why
Last, Mr.
we have to
Chair.
consider it.
last.
Okay, Councilor Alam Lim, you have to, in addition to the special report.
Mr. Chair, may hapon sa tanan. Actually, amo na take up, Mr. Chair. Mga kapitan naghanggat ko sa mga senior citizen. In fact, Congressman Clarex oy volunteer gani og lunch og services sa each individual barangay sa layo. Pero na magiging atong senior na ba kita nagit uban senior mahadlok og gahay kay ulo. So dili kinato na mapugos. Kanang monetar ang paghatag sa kwarta, that is not part of the kuan kay ato naman na silang i-convince. In fact, within this week mag-meeting na sa Department of Health representative sa mga kapitan nga unsa gid paagi dili ang uban mo mga senior na dili ba nato mapugos nga bitaron gyud masuko ba na sila so gi kuan naman na ato is do our best pero og dili gid sila wala magitay mahimo no nag-volunteer na kay lunch og breakfast si Congressman Clarex Uy og mga services sa individual nila sa District 1 ug District 2 pagani. But uban dili gid mo tunga gyud. Daghang salamat og may hapon.
Okay, thank you, Councilor ABC President Alam Lim.
Last,
So that could be the
last,
incentive
Mr.
from
Chair.
now on, as
Last,
stated.
Mr. Chair.
So, okay, lastly, Councilor Maria Lourdes Gani. Okay, okay, then I will roll it out and then decide on the matter.
Okay, may hapon ka natong tanan. Actually, isa gid sa mga problema karon sa Department of Health and even our city government, ang atong one of our vulnerable sectors, ang atong senior citizens. Now, we already have different strategies para mainganyo nato sila. Isa nga, katong pag-mobilize nato sa mga seniors, and this is in support with Congressman Clarex na dadon. So, unfortunately, karon atong nakita usag yun, ang katong gisulti ni ko, Councilor Alam Lim, na pag-convince sa atong mga senior. Kay majority, honestly, I've been sa lain-lain barangay, majority gyud sa ila nga dili ka convince about the vaccination. So, isa gyud ani is ang pag-disseminate sa unsay benefit nga makuha sa atong bakuna. Kay gidagan ka kadunggan sa mga seniors and kabalo ba ta atong mga seniors na kung unsay madunggan dito mo tuo. So, ang ako lang siguro is one way ang strategies galing gihimo karon sa Department of Health sa senior, walk-in na ang seniors. Wala na yung reference code. Muadto lang dito anytime basta senior ka, you just bring your ID, any ID with birthday. Tapos our senior citizens card, walk-in, dito lang ka i-register. Di na necessary nga magpa-pre-reg mo. At the same time po, daily, every day na ay fast lane, na ay express lane for senior citizens. Kana siya gemon. Ang problema among nakita nani is one is how to convince our senior citizens para mabakunahan. So, gwapo man tong idea na tagaan pero ako nakita as of kagahapon ang seniors ang nabakunahan is 32,000 na 32,855. No, ang ato that's more than 50% sa atong target. Atong target actually sa senior base sa survey is 43 to 46,000 lang sa seniors. Considering na natin 100,000 sa survey lang na sa survey nga gipay gayon few months ago katong willing magpabakuna. Now, ang ato lang is 30,000 na kapin ang ato as of kagahapon. That's July 11. So siguro ang katong pag-incentivize gwapo man to siya no pero i-consider lagi nato atong financial statement din sa ato sa Cagayan de Oro. Plus, sa nalay isultihan ng 32,000 nga nabakunahan nga seniors. Kami wala min natagaan noon. Porket karon wala na igo ang target. Kami nauna nami. So murag dili siguro I think pero pwede sa siya i-refer. Pero I don't think it's para visible kaayo nga idea nga tagaan nato. Siguro ako I agree nga volunteerism lang tabangan atong i-educate atong seniors unsay makuha ani plus tabangan nato nga makaadto sa atong vaccination sites considering na tulo na kabuk atong vaccination sites karon uptown, SM uptown, SM downtown, Centrio and Ketkay. Ang Centrio is managed by DOH. Purely senior ang ginang ilang gahimuon. Ang pero the rest nana din na ang A1 to A4 ang uban vaccination sites. Centrio is purely for senior citizens only. So thank you and may hapon.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Maria Lourdes Gani. So, thank you, Councilor Ruben Dava, for your special report. This matter will
Salamat
be
kayo.
further
Salamat
study
kayo, Mr. Chair.
to the Committee on Senior Citizen. Since at this moment of time, the senior citizen is well provided of in terms of the vaccination rollout. They have free transportation, free lunch or snacks or everything we can give it to them except for this to further study about this incentive of 2,000 pesos coming from Councilor Ruben Dava. So Councilor Roger Abaday, further study about this one, a proposal of Councilor Ruben Dava, and so as a joint Committee on Finance, Councilor Edna Dahino. Okay, our next reporter. Okay, that could be the
No
last
more.
reporter this afternoon. So Majority Floor Leader Ayan Marky Blatnakaya, you may now proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have item number 1 as proposed ordinance number 2021-117, approving the supplemental budget number 2 of the general fund and supplemental budget number 2 of the special account local economic enterprises, both for calendar year 2021 with estimated incomes of 281,879,832 pesos and 18,350,000 respectively against estimated expenditures of the same amounts. Move for the approval of the said item.
Properly moved by the Majority Floor Leader. Any second?
Second.
Seconded. Objection. Objection. None. Hearing none. Ordinance number 2021-117 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense with responsibility. Second.
Second.
Number 2 is proposed ordinance number 2021-118, declaring the river boundaries in between the flood risk management project for Cagayan de Oro, FRIMP-CDOR, as regulated land use zone and for other purposes. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved by the Majority Floor Leader. Any second?
Second.
Seconded. Objection. Objection. Okay, just further discussion from Councilor Romeo Calizo.
Good afternoon,
Mayong hapon.
Mr. Presiding Officer. Mayong hapon sab sa akong mga colleagues din sa 19th City Council and to our guests at the back. I have nothing against the proposed ordinance, Mr. Presiding Officer, but in the proposed ordinance, the allowed regulated land use are well identified, but there was no mentioning about what are the specific prohibited acts. Kay di ni manggid ta kuan gud kanang matanggong usahay kini mga balaod. Dili kita kabalo og unsa man ka namang specific prohibited acts within the regulated land use zone. I have learned in several committee meetings that in an ordinance we have to go specific. So can I ask the proponent of the ordinance, because in PD 1067 there's no mentioning about what are the specific prohibited acts within the regulated land use. Can we go specific? Can we cite this prohibited acts within this zone?
Regulated land use. So there will be a regulation.
If I may answer, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Majority Floor.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for the question.
Specific, no?
Yes, it's under lines 132 to 135, Mr. Chairman. Section 5, identified areas declared under the regulated land use zone. And in particular, although there are general discussions about the barangays included in this regulated land use zone. However, lines 132 to 135 specifically provides the answer to the question of Councilor General Calizo. No human habitation shall be allowed in these areas by virtue of the imminent danger to disposes to human life and or property. Specifically, the regulated land use zone is defined and delineated according to the technical description herein attached. Meaning, as we consider and approve this proposed ordinance, Mr. Chairman, it would also declare a no man's land, Mr. Chairman, including the building of properties therein.
Thank you very much to our Majority Floor Leader. I'm satisfied with the answer, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Romeo Calizo. So, Councilor Roger Abaday.
In addition, Mr. Chair, as was pronounced by the Majority Floor Leader, under Republic Act number 1067, the Water Code of the Philippines, it requires all environmentally critical areas a certificate of those areas, Mr. Chairman, that are destructive to environment, Mr. Chairman, environmental rest. No? For example, Section 31 of the Republic Act number 1067, determination of the easement in relation with Article 51 of the same law, that all easement of public use prescribed for banks, the river banks, lines reached by the highest flood. And Section 32, Mr. Chairman, those structures that are found there, Mr. Chairman, along the river shore or seashore, Mr. Chairman, that is subject for easement, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Councilor Edgar Cabanlas.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. This item was submitted to the Committee on Land Estate and Subdivision for review. And I don't know what happened because this was referred to the city legal for legal opinion. So I was thinking of immediately submitting this to the plenary because I believe that this is important. I was just surprised this was included here now. But anyway, Nana. Yes, but in our review during the time, I was not shown the legal opinion of the city legal office. Now, in Section 7, it is my my suggestion that we should include Section 7, page 30. We should include a member of the City Council to be a member of this committee. This creation of the Interagency Committee for Conservation and Sustainable Development and Protection and Monitoring within the regulated land use zone areas. Because there is no member of, we are not represented in this committee. This is a very important committee because the product of deliberation of this committee will be approved by this council. So we better have a member of the City Council so that once we will be deliberating on their proposal, the member will explain to us. So no need for them to be presented. Huh? Ano? Not, so, you see, this was my proposal and I was thinking during in the original text, there is no member of that committee. But I am not recommending the Committee on Land Estate and Subdivision. It should be environment. Medyo ko nilita gusto bro.
Well, in addition, you have to add for the committees that are included here in the regulated land use zone. So, well, exactly for the Committee on Environment, automatically.
Yes,
Okay.
okay.
Oh.
Mas appropriate ng dito.
Oh. So, okay.
So I am for the approval of this ordinance, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Edgar Cabanlas.
But the
So-
proposal is not for substitution, but addition. It's not for substitution, but addition.
Oh, for environment.
Meaning, in addition to the subdivision committee, we add environment committee.
Mm. There is a pending approval.
Okay, Robert. Anyway,
There's a pending
may I also
proposal.
inform the members of the council? This has been dragged for more than a year, Mr. Chairman. I was also responsible because I would like to really inquire from the DPWH as to the the plan of what do you call this? The river banks and the inclusion of this inland zoning and the prohibitions that demands from the proposed draft of ordinance that the CHUD would like to introduce to the City Council. And in fact, we were at a heightened discussion at the committee level on the planning and development, Mr. Chairman, with the consultant of DPWH, not just because he cannot really understand what I'm talking because he's a Japanese 100%, Mr. Chairman. He needs to have interpreter, but our message was put across. And so that the City Council will not be in a way sa future kung galing na yung mga issue namantay separability clause. So masave gyapon ang atong action. But the overall, Mr. Chairman, is the intention to really protect our environment and the areas where no man should be putting his own building and putting risk to the society. So that's why we proceeded with this, Mr. Chairman. As to the question of Councilor Cabanlas, whether or not the city legal officer has provided his own opinion, he jointly endorsed the matter together with the several department heads and DPWH, Mr. Chairman, for the approval of this ordinance. So the pending motion is for the approval.
Okay, thank you, Majority Floor Leader Ayan Martin Blatnagaya. There is a pending proposal. Properly moved and seconded. Objection? 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 Okay, Mr. Secretary. There is an abstention coming from Councilor. Abstention? Okay, there is an abstention coming from Councilor Lordan Swan. So, objection? None? None? None. So, ordinance number 2021-118 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense for its finality. Seconded.
Number 3 is proposed resolution number. No, number 4 is proposed ordinance number 2021-119 approving the.
Three.
Oh, sorry. Number 3 is proposed resolution number 2021-135 approving and or adopting the Integrated Coastal Management Plan ICMP of Cagayan de Oro City for calendar year 2020-2025 to include also Mr. Chairman Councilor Enrico Salcedo as a committee sponsor on the environment. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved by the Majority Floor Leader. Any second? Seconded. Objection. Objection? None. Hearing none. Resolution number 2021-135 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense for its finality. Seconded.
Number 4 is proposed ordinance number 2021-119 approving the alteration of plan of a portion of Thickwood Hills subdivision project located in Barangay Agusan de City covering an affected area of 29,829 square meters, particularly block 31 and portion of blocks 30, 32, 33, and 34 in order to align the road network connecting Thickwood Phase 2 to Thickwood Phase 3 and the change of name thereof from Thickwood Hills Phase 3 to Bill Dilmar as applied for by A. Brown Company Incorporated, subject to the conditions imposed by the City Engineering Office and the City Housing and Urban Development Department, City Housing Board, amending for the purpose ordinance number 10736-2007 as amended. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved by the Majority Floor Leader. Any second? Seconded. Okay, Councilor Edgar Cabanlas, want to manifest something?
As chairman of the committee that recommended this for approval, I move for the deferment, Mr. Chairman, because I noticed that the affidavits of non-objection to the alteration, there are so many. We were not able to review that because that was submitted only after the meeting of the committee. So, and then I was thinking that this alteration involved only a few lots, but I think it involved a 3-hectare property. And it would seem that this is a big chunk of the property that is being altered. So there is a further review. I move that this be deferred and sent back to the committee for further study and verification.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Edgar Camala. So properly understand that since this could be a friendly deferment, since it is proposed, emanates from the proposal itself. So ordinance number 2021-119 is deferred.
Number 6A and B, Mr. Chairman, proposed resolution number 2021-136. Gapas.
Five?
Nasa yung
Five.
pagkaon paguman ani ba? Number 5 is proposed ordinance number 2021-120. Approving the preliminary subdivision development plan, PSDP, of residential condominium development project located in Barangay Carmen de City with an area of 50,003 square meters containing 2,610 units under PD 957 as applied for by the SM Development Corporation, represented by its Assistant Project Development Manager Maris May C. Nura, subject to the conditions imposed by the City Engineering Office, City Housing and Urban Development Department, and the City Housing Board. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved by the majority floor leader.
Second.
Seconded. Objection. None. Hearing none. Ordinance number 2021-120 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense for its finality.
Second.
Seconded.
6A and B. A, proposed resolution number 2021-136, earnestly requesting His Honor City Mayor Oscar S. Moreno through the city building official to forthwith initiate proceedings for the demolition of identified illegal billboards in Cagayan de Oro City and or impose appropriate administrative or criminal penalties for violation of pertinent provisions of the National Building Code or Ordinance number 6390-98, otherwise known as the Billboard Ordinance of 1998, as amended. B, proposed resolution number 2021-137, earnestly requesting the Department of Public Works and Highways, Regional Office number 10, DPWH number 10, to forthwith initiate proceedings for the demolition of identified illegal billboards in Cagayan de Oro City and or impose appropriate administrative or criminal penalties for violations of pertinent provisions of the National Building Code. Considering that this is the measures are the results of the Committee of the Whole, Mr. Chairman, before any motion, may we ask Councilor General Romeo Calizo to please make the statement and the proper motion, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. So, Councilor Romeo Calizo.
Thank you very much again, Mr. Presiding Officer and my colleagues. This has been an offshoot of this is actually the end product of the meeting we had just last July 8th. That is, we have seen that there's nothing wrong with the National Building Code, and this covers the laws as to determining whether the construction of billboards are legal or not. And we have our local ordinance as our reference. There's nothing wrong with the provisions of these two laws, the national and the local laws. With this, we found out that we only have some lapses in the enforcement in enforcing these laws. And so the committee that came up with these two resolutions urging immediately requesting our municipal mayor through the office of the building official to enforce the law. And also, since DPWH has been given the authority to issue demolition orders, that national agency too is being requested by this council to immediately effect the force of law. And I move for the approval of these two resolutions, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Okay. But Okay, for approval, any second? Second, properly moved and seconded. But I just to reiterate that for a simple reminder that the DPWH at that time when we had a committee hearing about this illegal structure manifested that they don't have the police, what do you call this, manpower. So you are requesting earnestly for addressing to the DPWH, but they don't have the capacity or the resources, human resources for the said structure. Maybe we are addressing it to the include it the office of the building official, since they also manifested that declared it illegal. So from the DPWH and so as the office of the building official, but we have to address it to the chief executive since they have the manpower about this demolition. So maybe you can add it so that it is clearly stated in the resolution that we are approving. So it's up to you then, or the tenor of this resolution. So is there any want to add? Okay, Councilor Roger Abaday.
In addition, Mr. Chair, of the statement and pronouncement of the chairman of the Committee of the Whole, and with regards also with the pronouncement of the DPWS regarding their lacking of manpower to implement the enforcement of those who are structures illegally erected without permit under the local code 1991 empowers the chief executive to require owners of illegal constructed houses, building, or other structures to obtain necessary permits subject to fines, penalties, as may be imposed by ordinance, or demolition or removal of said house, building, or structures. That's one consistent with our resolution, Mr. Chairman, as given by vested power of the chief executive.
Okay. Okay. So it is provided under the PD, a local government code. So in addition to that, okay. So there is a pending proposal, properly moved and seconded. Objection? Okay, Councilor Lordan Swan. It is an objection? Okay.
I'm not objecting to this resolution because it is my family's business that is being targeted. I am objecting to this because this is not right. We do not silence our opponents by threatening to take away their very means of making a living. Kung kita naglalis diri sa City Council, na mga issues nga wata nagkasinabot. Sa mga issues nga akong gipangduso, sama sa paghatag og ayuda sa tax amnesty, sa pag-ariglar sa mga PWD. Unta di arataman sa mga issues. Unta di arataman sa mga issues. Kaning kaning mamersonal na mangguta, lahi na siya. This is not democracy. This is pandaog-daog na ni. Para sa ako, pandaog-daog na ni siya. And
okay, so Councilor Lordan,
Mr. Chair,
we have to stick to the
yes,
proposed
yes, I am talking about
resolution.
the resolution, and I think that I am the one being targeted. So
that is why. So we have
Mr.
to
Chair,
stick to
please,
the topic.
if I am the one who is going to be affected by this, and everyone knows that, please give me the chance to at least say my piece and defend myself.
Well, if
Please
you
lang.
want to defend, when you are explaining today, why is it in the committee hearing you are not around?
There were
If you are
circumstances.
want to defend, what?
There
Come
was a
again?
circumstance that was beyond my control.
So that is
Anyway,
why.
I'm here now, so why don't you let me speak? So, with due respect to the members of the City Council, kani igo yu kani. Ang among pamilya ani magkalisod-lisod yun. Kabalo man tang tanan ana. Kung kung naay siguro intention nga pasakitan ko,
Well,
masakitan niyo ko ani sa tinuod lang.
Councilor, respect to you,
Pero
we have the law.
yes, yes.
It is not
Mr. Chair,
directly our
please allow
law.
me just 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes, please.
Okay.
Okay? Masakitan niyo ko ani. Hinaot unta nga kung ako mo'y giigo, sa ako lang unta
So
taman.
meaning you are the violator.
I'm not saying that I'm the violator. Kung ako'y giigo, palihog lang unta, taman lang sa ako Dili unta apilo na akong pamilya. Og apil pod ang pamilya sa pipila ka gatos ka mga empleyado sa billboard industry nga maigo ani. Anda ko nga pangutana karon. Why are the officials of Cagayan de Oro City, the city officials of Cagayan de Oro City, concentrating on demolishing billboards when there are hundreds, if not thousands of Cagayanons who are hungry, jobless, poor, na lumos na siguro sa utang para makakaon lang and crying for help. Dumduman nato, Mr. Chair, kaning politika, karon kauban mo, sunod kontra. Dabing mo tuyok ang kalibutan. Nga kamo, naanapod sa minority. Unya buhaton ni sa inyo ha, malipay ka mo. So, siguro kung naako'y naingon nga nasakitan mo, pasensyain na lang ko ninyo, basig ng lapas ko.
Okay.
Pero unta, di lang tataman sa issues. Dili nato ipalahos og inani. Muhangyo lang ko sa inyo, palihog, una-hunaan ninyo nig-ayo. Kabalo man ko mga disente man tang nga tao diri. Let's not go beyond. Wala man gani nato hatagi og insaktong higayon ang billboard industry nga makadipinsa sa ilang kaugalingon. Una-una ana, gikan sa Huwebes pinaka first nga committee hearing, pagka-Lunes daritso demolish. Kagrabe basad kay ana. Kung ako may giigo, sige lang, pero dumdumi pod naapoy lain mga igo ani. Pipila ka mga pamilya sa kaning billboard industry. Tagay maghigayon nga makadipinsa sa mong kagalingon. Kung moingon mo nga nakalapas mi sa National Building Code, tagay maghigayon nga mo explain sa among side. Kay kung inani nga paspasan na tug-ayo, wa ba ka ta nakalapas pod sa Constitution mismo nga there might be a lack of due process. So gihangyo ta mo, hinahinay lang ta.
Well,
Di ba
Councilor,
pwede nga ato sa ning ibutang sa committee balik? Let's not use the power of the city council to destroy, but to heal. Mo ni atong chance. Let's be of the number of those who would do what is right, not what is expedient.
okay, thank you, Councilor Lordan Swan. So I just give you an ample time to express. So
Mr. Chair,
it is not stated that you are directing. It's clearly in the resolution that there is no Lordan Swan here. It's clearly stated in general form. The resolution is clearly stated, and it is properly heard in the committee. You are given notice to defend, to protect yourself, and so as you are given an ample time to defend yourself or submit an evidence that you are not the violator. It is not clearly stated here that you are the one you are violating. In fact, you are admitting that you are the violator this moment of time. So it's clearly the resolution states that it in general form. There is no specifically address it to any company or any individual that is violating. But as you pronounce in your speech that you are admitting that you are the violator. So it's up to you. But the question here, the issue here is, it is legal or illegal? Oh, that is the question. We have the law, and the law will prevail, and so as the truth will prevail. Oh, it is clearly heard in the committee level, chaired as a committee as a whole, and this could be the outcome. So, Councilor Enrico Salcedo, want to add something?
Daghang salamat, Mr. Chairman, o mayong hapon sa tanan. Yung ako lang, para sa ako observation, Mr. Chairman, wala man siguro gisingle out si Councilor Lordan Swan. Kay kini nga, gani, Mr. Chairman, wala ko masayop atong 2017, nag-special report ko regarding aning kaning billboard. Nya kini nga ko ang problema sa billboard, gi-refer ni siya sa Committee on Ways and Means kang Councilor George Goking. I don't know kung saan itabo adto. Nya taas kini nga proseso. Gani kung wala ko naman si Councilor Kaliso duato kabok sa committee sa ni Councilor Kaliso ni Councilor George Goking. Mr. Chairman, pasalamat gani ko karon kang Councilor Janseno kay iyang natagag atensyon sa kadugay na kay nga panahon. Unya pagpangutana during sa committee meeting, Mr. Chairman, gipangutan na to asa ang company nila ni Councilor Lordan Swan. Ang gitubag i-refer lang sa ni Attorney Lagamon mo siguro kung wala ko masayop.
That is why.
Oh, muna natingala ko nganong i-refer pa man ta kay dili pa man ni kaso or unsa. Kun dili tanan mga representatives sa mga advertising company present adtong higayuna except sa Ultra Crop. Mr. Chairman. Pagpangutana nako, ako may nangutana mismo. Nangutana ko sa DPWH, nangutana ko sa sa DPWH nang ingon nga that is legal ba ang mga nakabutang diya. Nga dili lang kay gani akong ipangutana isa ka billboard. Dili man to, I think di man to kang Councilor Swan or sa Ultra Crop, Mr. Chairman. Unya nangutana ko sa Ubo. Pila ka buok ang walay building permit. Mr. Chairman, ako ba nag-iyon ko nga kining resolution nga i-demolish? Kay nga naman, dabi ko unsay may tabo, ana mga billboard nga nakatumba, kinsay ma-blame. Nangatumba, nanga-damage, unya nay mga tao, nga nangaigo, unay mga property, nanga-damage, Mr. Chairman. Kinsa may basulon? Di ba ang city government, kaya nga naman gipasagdan for how many years na? Ako pangutana lang, nganong gipasagdan nila sa pipila ka tuig nga walay building permit. Nganong wala man nila gipalo up sa Ubo, nganong wala man silang maglukat og building permit. Nganong wala man nila gi-process ang building permit. Nya karon, no, para sa ako, Mr. Chairman, wala gyud gi-single out ang Ultra Crop. Kundili tanan, Mr. Chairman. Kay siguro, na timing lang siguro nga si Councilor Janseno ang nag-special report, gipasalamatan ako si Councilor Janseno. Kay labi na karon panahon na, Mr. Chairman, nga kuanta kining pandemya, nagkinahanglan tag pundo para itabang o panghatag nato sa mga tao. May na lang ni kung pananglitan manglukat ni sila og building permit or kung aton tan-aw nangutana ko, Mr. Chairman, pilay income sa syudad sa billboard, pastilan dili gid makakompensate. Sa kadugay nga panahon nga gipaymuslan nila nga wala sila or kulang kung nagbayad sila buhis sa Cagayan de Oro, kulang, Mr. Chairman. Muna nga ako, miuban ko kay kaluoy pa kayo sa atong mga igsuon labi na diya nga naigo diya sa Mega Dikes nga gipandimulis nato. Samantala na i-billboard diya tungod kay untouchable, dili madimulis, Mr. Chairman. Unfair sa mga pobre. Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Enrico Salcedo.
Mr. Chair,
Okay, Councilor Jocelyn Rodriguez.
may hapon, Mr. Chair.
May hapon.
Ako ni experience, no, isip usa ka kapitan sa 12 ka tuig. Ako explain kung say pamaagi sa barangay. Kay tungod ang barangay, pag dunay mo butang og billboard, dunay mubutang og mga tarpaulin tagaan og due process ang atong namutang. Tagaan 15 days, 30 days tawgon, kung dili gid mo tuo, tangtangon. Ako na nang gibuhat, gipanangtang ko na, wala ko gikadlukan kay tungod ni kuan sa balaod. Ang point nako, Mr. Chair, wala na ko nagkinagresolusyon. Nanay ordinansa ana, ang ako na lang is pag-implementar isip usa ka kapitan. Ang akong pangutana, ngano ato pa mang iresolusyon si mayor, nga siya may mayor, sa ato pa, ato siyang gidiktahan, or wala siya nihimo sa iyang trabaho. Kay na may ordinansa, giinak naman ang ordinansa is just a matter of implementing. So sa ato but pasabot, kay 2018 pa man wala nilihok ka sa atong mayor, wala nilihok ka sa atong mga department heads. Asa karon ang sayop. Mr. Chair, nadiritanan ang listing, no? Naatanan ang listing sa mga violators. In fact, naglibog ko. Kaya ang usa ka violator is Xavier University. Onya, Oro Chamber. Murag dili ko katuan ni Mr. Chair. If you go to the page 229, tanawan ninyo. Xavier University, owner, advertiser, Xavier University. Ang point nako, Mr. Chair, nakabutang sila 5 ground of signs along the road. Ang pangutana nako, kag Councilor Seno, iya ba kining gi-check? Kinsay sadaan? Ang Xavier ba o nagbutang sa tarpaulin along the road? Let us be fair to this establishment because kaning establishmento, mga taxpayers ni maayo ni mamayad.
Okay. Okay, Councilor Jocelyn Rodriguez, I just want to clarify that the committee hearing that we conducted last Thursday,
Yes, Thursday.
Thursday is the no build zone and the divisoria, and so as the other illegal structure that are located as specified to the special report of John Michael Seno. Anything more in the continuation of the committee hearing, moabot ka ta ana, Councilor Jocelyn Rodriguez.
Ang ako lang pangutana, Mr. Chair, because makaluluoy kay mga establishment that are listed here. This will be a public record. Dagko nga kompanya nga namayad sa ilang mga buwis, pero walay klaro sila ba'y nikuan sa balaod?
Well, okay. Well, the investigation and the committee hearing is still ongoing.
Okay.
The one that we resolution is the specific violation from the no build zone.
Okay, ang ako lang, Mr. Chair, because this is
Moabot ka tana.
public record man yun, Mr. Chair. Let us be very specific. Kaya nakabutang dire, wa maguta kay balo sila may sadan or ang advertiser.
Moabot ka tana, Councilor Jocelyn Rodriguez. The committee as a whole is still ongoing. The next committee hearing, we will moabot tana about the taxation, about the penalties, about the penalties that we implicate to the companies that are violating the payback, that what I mean to say. So moabot ka ta ana.
Okay.
The committee as a whole regarding of this illegal structure is still ongoing. We will wait in respect to the committee chairman. We'll just wait for the next committee hearing.
Ang ako lang, Mr. Chair, na ato lang gidning maklaro kay dili maayo. Dili maayo 100 ni ka mga negosyante. And one more thing, Mr. Chair, I don't think ang resolution is that important. Being the mayor as the who has the power on that to implement already way back 2018. Pag committee hearing, Mr. Chair, 7 rin na nga. So I don't think this is what you call this valid para nako. So I am not I'm against this, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
And hopefully we give due process to everybody, not the selective justice, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Thank you, Councilor Jocelyn Rodriguez. Well, the law applies to all. This could not be a selective Okay, Councilor John Michael Seno.
Thank you so much, Mr. Presiding Officer. To the members of the 19th City Council, friends from the media, and fellow Cagayanons, may hapon ka natong tanan.
May hapon.
This is just a resolution. Kung akong nasabtan, Mr. Presiding Officer, this is just a resolution. No? And for sure, the office of the city mayor or the departments concerned will issue notice of violation. And the notice of violation, there will come a time nga mutubag sila. Naaman tay due process yapon kanang question sa due process, it is upon the rule of the implementing agency, but we have ordinances nga na ay first, second, and third offense. So they will issue notice of violation and sila na bahala dong pagkuan dito. Ang ato dani is kabalo naman gid na, Mr. Presiding Officer, that there was a violation. Nganong dili man ta mag-act? Gakabalaka ko for the dereliction of duty. Ngano? Kabalo naman ta nga na violation, unsa may atong action? Di ako nabalaka. So, na may ubo, ilahan ng trabaho, na ICT legal for sure, nga magtanaw niya na mag-supervise to implement this National Building Code and even our local ordinance. As stated by our presiding officer of the Committee of the Whole, nga provided man tanan sa balaod. Kana lang ako, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Councilor John
Mr. Chair,
Michael
Mr.
Seno.
Chair.
Okay, Councilor Roger Cabaday.
Mr. Chair.
Daghang salamat, Mr. Presiding Officer. Mga ilang ko pasaylo sa kang Councilor Lordan Swan nga maigo mo siya ni na maday yang structure ng maigo na ni. Pero ang atong trabaho din sa City Council, we do not, sorry lang, I'd like to disabuse the mind of Councilor Swan that we are not biased here and we are not singling anybody. Bato-bato sa langit ang tamaan, hindi masakit. Kung sa'y nakabiolate din ng balaod, kung sa'y maigo na ni, now, pasensya lang, kaya we are just doing our job. Dugay naman kayo ng problema. Mo gani na nga, because of the Committee of the Whole, atong i-remind ang City Mayor kay tungod sa iyang gargantuan nga trabaho, kadaghan ng trabaho. We are just reminding the Mayor to this resolution unsay nahitabo karon dinhi sa Sudal Second. Labi na kining mga illegal structures or billboard, no? So the reminding the Mayor the output of our committee as a whole. No? So this two resolution, this pertains to all illegal structures or billboards. So we are running all those illegal. Na kung naa ka diha, especially if you are public official, you should be a leader by example. Anong public official ka and then you are maintaining illegals. That is substandard. So, sorry lang kung namay. Bisan pa siguro, paingon man ito sa, walay taman sa mga iguanan ni. And the mayor, of course, is a seasoned lawyer, kanang mga ubo, mga professor. You know the due process? Ako may mga notice na pa may mga di man immediately nga i-demolish. So, in fact, the DPWH has already admit that those are illegals and they lack only manpower to enforce the law. So that's why we are requesting the city mayor, if it is not, never mind that it is too late, but at least we have acted upon. Natay gihimo nga kining panubo karon kining mass roaming illegal structure. No? So better late than never. Kay sawa gid tay gihimo. Kay sa ingon pa ni Councilor Salcido, as chairman of the environment, suppose kung may tabo na sab, who is to be blamed? Kamo dia sa City Council, sabi niya gihimo. So this is what we are acting upon. We are not singling anybody. Labi na kay atong kauban sa sana, inong tungdan, sorry lang. So it's your discretion now how to do recourse if and when na igo lugar ang inyong So walay ko na ni, kasi matamaan na ni. So wala sa tingon nga gagamiton kita din sa mga personal. Nothing. We are just doing our official duty as a public servant and representative of the people. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you,
Last, Mr.
Councilor
Chair.
Roger
Last, Mr.
Abaday.
Chair. Last, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Councilor Jocelyn Rodriguez.
Okay. Nindot kay paminawon, Mr. Chair, nga due process na magina na ibalaod kinsa may magbabag sa balaod, nobody is above the law. Ang akong gikatawan ngano dugay giimplementar. Sige tagdawat sweldo, sige dawat sweldo. Ngano karon pa man 2018 nana siya diha. Mo na ako gikasukan. Kinsa man nga komitiba? Kinsa man ni ang gagunit ani karon pa lugar ta manangtang nga nagpandemya. Katuon tang panahon nga nagbabag na sa balaod gitang na to. Muna makatawa ko maminaw 2018 nanaw ta nakuha nga kwarta nakapundo na unta ta dili na unta ta pa-remind sa mayor kay dili man na angay i-remind ang mayor gitrabaho na unta na sa konseho. Mao na ako gikasukan Mr. Chair ngano langay kay ta dawat ta sweldo kay implementar. Dili ta istorya na nga balaod kana kanunay ang balaod. Ang ako lang ngano sa dugay nga panahon karon pa. Daghang salamat Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Jocelyn Rodriguez. Well, it is you can there is a directory who is the committee chairman on that council way back then. So there is you can research that small research about that the committee chairman about that committee. Well, Councilor Edgar Cabanlas, and so lastly, Councilor Lord Anzuan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Balihon taro ang plaka ani ng kon. Pero wala man tali malkansiyan mga advertisers nga pang demolition ka ng ilang mga structures. Kung naka-violate sila, kung doon yung mga wala nila matuman nga mga regulasyon. Nga naman, dugay naman kung na kayo, mas nakaginansya sila. They've been tolerated to put up all these illegal structures without paying anything. So kita ba nakaginansya? Kunya karon nga gapangita kita sa atong katungod. Isip per local government unit, ang kita ninoy basulon. Kita ninoy nga kita ninoy sadaan. So nahimo nino kato nakasalak nga mo eksakto. Kunya kita nga gapatuman nagtas balaod, muna hinon kita ang sadaan. Medyo nabalik galing ni.
Wa na balik.
Now, what is wrong with our ordinance or our resolution? It's just a request to the city mayor to stop the toleration of all these illegal structures, outdoor advertising, so that at least kita mga tao makatilaw pud ta og legal nga outdoor advertising kay pulos na unya illegal. And then kung doon naman ugaling mga demolition nga paghimon sa atong mayor because of our resolution, I think kana mga outdoor advertising nga demolition, grabe ni kay kas violator yun. Ginansya na kayo. Di mo po na demolition sa ubo kung wala mo agi sa 5 ka notice of demolition. Dili na siya, dili lang kinay balaod na nga you have to have sent several notice of violation. Nagtukoy bisag 50 na ka notice of violation, nadawat na ng mga tawhanan na. Because, Mr. Chairman, it did not start with this administration, all this violation. It started long ago. Na tingali, tungod tingali sa basig mabutangan na sa politika. Wider-wider lang. Di matali ka na mao. Somewhere, somehow, someday, all these illegalities must stop. Whether you are a friend or not. Maybe that was tolerated 10 years, 20 years ago because you're a friend to the mayor. But somehow, as I said, as the time passes, all these illegalities, because it is illegal, must stop. Whether kontra nimo ang mayor, whether kontra nimo ang city council, it has to stop somewhere. Nagpasilo ka kita nga kanong panahon na kini na tutukan. This is good for the public. Dili ignon nga kita nun nakasala. Wa pati gi-violate. So mo kana nga due process. Yes, there will be due process that will be observed. The mayor will not just demolish all this illegal structure without conducting a due process hearing, consultation, pangutana, investigation, magyapon na. Dili na mahitabo because the mayor is a lawyer. So, ayaw ninyo sabta nga katong maigo nga kidaog-daog ka mo. No. Kung imong tanawon kita ang kidaog-daog so that dugay-dugay na nga panahon nga naa ka na nag-exist ka ng illegalities. Ako na, oh my God, I know. I should know. Oh, I know. Tagpila ba ilang income na ng usa ka book advertising? 100,000 a month? Huh? Peanuts. So do not talk about sympathy or because I think the city government has been very kind to these illegal activities. Hingga karon millions of pesos ang ginansya. Grabe. Kita kapangayon natin sa mumho lang atong kapangayon sa ila. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Edgar Cabanlas.
Pwede pa ko?
Okay, lastly, Councilor Lordan Suan.
First of all, was there a judicial determination that these billboards are illegal? Was there even an administrative determination that these billboards are illegal? Secondly, are you really going to stand here before the people and expect them to believe that this has nothing to do with me? Councilor Salcedo, Councilor Abaday. Ka-timing ba sa kayo? And are you really going to say that
Councilor
this
Lordan
is
Suan.
not
Councilor Lordan
a
Suan.
reprisal from Councilor Seno?
Councilor Lordan Suan. I
Yes.
remind you, please do not address to any our colleague of ours. You
Okay,
are
Mr.
referring-
Chair, very well.
Okay.
So
but please
my
stick
point
to
is
the-
this. My point is
to the
this.
topic.
My point is this. Klarong kayo. Klarong kayong rason ani. Timing man kayo. Nga saba ko diri City Council sige taglalis diri lahi-lahi tag opinion kalit day ni gawas ning issue. So please do not say nga wala ni labot sa kuha. And unsam ning mga remarks from other councilors nga moingon nga dako na kay na sila ginansya. Unsa ba ni kung makaginansya data birahon din ta?
They are referring
And
to
another
you.
thing.
Councilor, they are referring it to you. It is addressed to you.
And I am also not addressing it to anyone, to them. This is just a question.
That is
Na,
why.
is it so that once someone is making profits, even though we don't know the amount of risk and expense that they are risking in order to make those profits, ato din silang pirahon lugar. So pangutana raman ako na Mr. Chair. And regarding kaning kuan nga, suspicious kayo. Kung mangayo kog ayuda or unsa ba diya, tax amnesty hantod karon wala pagyapon. Pero kung kaning billboard, in 4 days, resolution dayon, and you will say nga dili ni siya bias para sa kuha, you expect people to believe that? Nasa inyo
Point of order. Okay.
It's okay, I'm done anyway.
Okay. So, okay, Councilor Edgar Cabanlas.
I think, with due respect to Councilor Swan, he's answering his own question. He can go to court and ask for redress if he thinks that his right was violated. Not us. He can stop the city government if he wants to. Go to court, apply for he knows that.
That
He's
is
a
why.
lawyer. He's a good lawyer. Ask for a restraining order or he knows that. Injunction, or whatever. But we cannot file this injunction in court to join us. He has that right. Mo kana iyang katungod, please. And let us not talk about personalities. Let us talk about issues. Answer about issues, not personalities. Because if your answer is about the personalities of those who is talking before you, then that becomes, in legal terms, as ad hominem. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Edgar Cabanlas. So,
We have exhaustively discussed, Mr. Chairman.
that
We
is why. That
proceed
is
to
the last
voting.
opinion coming from Councilor Lord and Swan. So, there is a pending resolution, properly moved and seconded. So, objection. Objection. Well, there is no objection after all. Okay, just an abstention coming from Councilor Lord and Swan. And Councilor Jocelyn Rodriguez, an abstention. So, resolution number 2021-136. Resolution number 2021-137 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
For its final seconded.
We have for inclusion, Mr. Chairman, as items number 7, 8, 9. Then the product of my report, number 10. Any more? Okay. Move for the inclusion, Mr. Chairman.
For inclusion, 7, 8, and 9. 10. Any second?
Second.
Carry on, majority floor.
Number
Item
7 is proposed ordinance number 2021-121, authorizing the Honorable City Mayor Oscar S. Moreno, representing the city government of Cagayan de Oro, to enter into and sign the contract of affiliation with the Capital University, CU, represented by its school president, Attorney Casimiro B. Juarez Jr., covering the partnership of the parties in the affiliation of its nursing students at the J.R. Borja General Hospital, this city, under the terms and conditions stipulated therein. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved.
Second.
Seconded. Objection? None. Hearing none. Ordinance number 2021-121 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Dispense.
Second.
Seconded.
Number 8 is proposed resolution number 2021-138, congratulating and commending Miss Cinderella Faye Obinita for winning the title Binibining Pilipinas Intercontinental 2021, thereby giving honor and prestige to Cagayan de Oro City and its residents. For the information of the body, Mr. Chairman, she was once a Rotary Youth City Council member in 2011. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved.
Second.
Second.
Seconded. Objection? Objection. Hearing none. Resolution number 2021-138 is hereby approved.
Dispense second final reading.
Second.
For its finality, seconded.
Second.
Number 9 is proposed ordinance number 2021-122, authorizing the Honorable City Mayor Oscar S. Moreno to enter into and sign the Tulay Pangulo para sa Kaunlarang Agraryo TPKP Memorandum of Agreement MOA with the Department of Agriculture, Department of Agrarian Reform, DAR, to be represented by Undersecretary PIOFAPS Ranibay Dilangalin, and B. Bridges Management Cluster Unified Project Management Office, BCM-UPMO, of the Department of Public Works and Highways, DPWH, to be represented by its project director, Rodrigo I. De Los Reyes, covering the construction of Purok 7, Purok 1A Bridge in Barangay Tablon, the city, under the terms and conditions stipulated in the MOA attached here to. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved by the majority.
Second.
Order, seconded. Objection.
Second.
Objection? None. Hearing none. Ordinance number 2021-122 is hereby approved.
Move to dispense second final reading.
Second.
Penalty seconded.
Number 10 is proposed resolution number 2021-139, urging all punong barangays, chairpersons of Sangguniang Kabataan, regional and or provincial directors of national government agencies or instrumentalities, and heads, chiefs of city government offices, departments, all of the city to create, establish, and or maintain the respective hotline numbers, mobile and or landline, as well as official accounts in all social media platforms, messaging apps, Facebook, Messenger, Viber, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, in order to provide the real-time and prompt venue in answering queries, requests, complaints, and other concerns of the public, especially their respective constituents or clientele, and to cause the dissemination thereof through the mass social media, including the city information office, signboards, posters, and other similar advertisements. Subject to silence, Mr. Chairman. Move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Properly moved by the majority of leader. Seconded. Objection? Objection? None. Hearing none. Resolution number 2021-139 is hereby approved.
Dispense second final reading.
Dispense
Second.
penalty. Seconded.
There being no other pending, Mr. Chairman, move to adjourn.
Session adjourned.